Hey everybody, how is everyone doing on this Sunday? I hope everyone is doing well. Thanks for tuning in. I always appreciate it. Well, it seems we have the content Chantal has been promising. I guess a historic adventure, I guess you want to call it. She did some exploring in Busra. So let's get into it and see if she did any homework on this area.
Guys, welcome to another Syria vlog. I hope you're enjoying this series. And since I'm in the car, you guessed it, we're going somewhere very interesting today. So, yes, we are going to an ancient city called Busra here in Syria. And Busra is first mentioned in Egyptian scriptures as early as 14th
Busra, I guess tomato, how you pronounce it? I don't know.
Century BC. It's ancient. And what's special about Busra is it contains some UNESCO World Heritage sites, some ancient Roman ruins.
Does she even know what UNESCO stands for? That it's anagram for something? United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization? She didn't mention that.
Some ancient Islamic ruins as well, and some ancient Christian ruins. There's all kinds of eras mixed into these ruins.
I don't know. Ancient Christian, I mean, I don't know. I guess that could be up for discussion. Those are very significant there, especially in this place that she's going to. Will she talk about it? Probably not. I don't know.
But the most impressive thing I want to see is the coliseum, the Roman theater that was built in around year 2 AD. So I'm really excited to take you guys. It's very hot today, so I'm going to do what I can. We're going to come back when it's cooler out, maybe in the late fall or winter, to show you a bit more, because the ruins are very, very vast. And I didn't expect that. I'm actually filming this intro after we've been.
I mean, that's actually true, and a lot of it has been destroyed by ISIS. Whatever country they put their paws into, they seem to have this mission of destroying ancient artifacts, as well as stealing many artifacts and selling them on the black market.
I thought it was just the theater. No, there's a ton of ruins we didn't even get through. So stay tuned for that. We're going to come back, but I'm going to explain a little bit about the history of Busra right now, and then we're going to move on to my footage of the vlog. All right? Yalla. Here we are in Busra. It might look like a typical small Syrian city with a population of just under 20,000 residents, but Busra holds an enormous amount of history at its center. This city is first mentioned in Egyptian scriptures as early...
I mean, what she just said right there. What she's saying is actually true, but I mean, it's because of its location and how many countries have actually, or nations or empires or whatever you want to call the people that have taken over those parts of the world. It has a vast history as far as the mention in Egyptian text. I believe, if I can remember, those were correspondence between who was ruling Egypt at the time and who was in Busra at the time, because that specific area in Syria was pivotal in the trade route during that time period and many centuries following.
It's the 14th century BC. It is also mentioned more than once in the Old Testament. Busra was a key stop for trade caravans on their way to northern Syria. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, traveled through Busra as well on a caravan with his uncle. He's said to have visited Busra twice. Busra is actually associated with the Prophet's, peace be upon him, journey to becoming a prophet. But before Islam, Busra was once the capital of the...
What journey? I don't know what she's talking about. She needs to go into the story about that. I know a little bit about it. The story is another story that's, I don't want to say controversial, but there's different ways that it's been told. He was a young child. I don't know the age, and he was traveling with his uncle. Like I said, this was an important trade route during that time period. He was with his uncle, and they came upon a basilica that was there, which is, I mean, you could call it a church, I guess. It's like a big church, basically. And a monk, which I forgot what the name that they called monks back then. A monk, Greek Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox, was the basilica, I believe. I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember this from what I've read. And he observed the caravan of these people coming in, and I guess he really paid attention to them because it seemed like, because it was hot, and wherever they were, there was always a cloud covering them and like giving them shade. And then there was a point where they were under a tree and the cloud was stationary over the tree and all of that. So he was intrigued. He invited them in to the basilica, you know, to eat and find out a little bit more about them. And then that's where he met the prophet Muhammad. This is way before he was even a prophet. And the monk proceeded to ask him questions, and Muhammad was truthful about the questions that he had asked. And then I believe there was a birthmark or something like that, if I remember right, on Muhammad. And it was like, I don't even know what they would call it back then. Divine, maybe like a seal of a higher power. I don't even know. Proceeded to tell him that he would end up being a prophet later on in his life. And he warned the uncle to hide young Muhammad from the Christians and Jews because they would be jealous of him and I guess try to kill him. So that's the story of that. I mean, Muhammad actually didn't really become a prophet until he met the Archangel Gabriel in the cave. I forgot the city or the cave where the location is. Forgive me. And that's where he was given part of the Quran and told to recite it. That's what I remember. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me. Back to you, Chantal. I mean, I wish you would go into details about that because it's important to this area.
Roman province Arabia. The ruins in Busra are from a mix of ancient Nabatean, Roman, Byzantine, and early Islamic periods.
Byzantine? Nabatean? Okay.
The most famous ruin still standing is the Roman theater that was constructed in the 2nd century AD. The theater has been reinforced over the years due to conflict in the Middle East and is surrounded by a citadel because of that. But mostly it has stayed intact and is a part of the UNESCO.
I don't believe that was like fortified over the years. I believe that was like fortified in the early centuries, long after Muhammad. I'm gonna have to look that up, but I believe that's what it is. Because they wanted to like take a stronghold of that area because it was an important trade route, and they wanted to protect that shit, basically.
World Heritage Sites. All right, let's go inside and see what it's like. Yalla. So going into the main grounds, you see a restaurant and cafe and a little place you can buy prayer beads and some art and have shisha. This is surrounding the main entrance to the Roman theater, surrounded by some palm trees. I don't know if that's like a moat or used to be a moat area, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And here are some other ruins that are not inside the theater.
Okay, so like, I don't even know what these are. I mean, this could be part of the basilica, but like I said, this specific site that she's at has been destroyed by ISIS. They've destroyed a lot of it. Yeah, so I don't even know. It could be part of the basilica. I have no idea. I would have to do some research on that. I could be wrong, but yeah. And the reason why the basalt has that color, I forgot the minerals. I believe one of the minerals in that, it's the volcanic rock, is iron and something else. I can't remember it off the top of my head. That's what gives it that dark color.
Didn't realize that there were so many other ruins before I actually went there, made with the basalt, the volcanic rock that you see. The whole theater is made of the same thing as well. And just look how impressive all these ruins are. We didn't get to see too much of that. My explanation is at the end, but look at these columns.
That could be part of the basilica right there. I'm just looking at it. Could be. I don't know. I would have to like look at a whole layout of the city. And you know what's really weird too is a lot of these cities were built upon other cities. So there could be so much stuff buried under the sand. I mean, it's quite amazing.
Impressive. It was a very, very hot day, and I started feeling unwell. So we'll have to come back when it's cooler, basically. And this, I don't know what this is. Used to be a statue, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. And here's just a little bit about the history of the theater when you first go in. You can pause if you want to read that. And yeah, so let's go and see what it's like. It's pretty dark, a little bit creepy. It gives you castle vibes, actually. But
yeah, this is when it was fortified, I believe, like during the medieval centuries. So that's why it's giving that castle vibe that she's talking about. It's because of the time period.
It's a lot of walking, but I did what I could. Okay, there's a secret passage here. Don't know what's in here. We might get in trouble.
How are you going to get in trouble?
There's like a secret door. Secret stairway.
That looks like orbs flying around. Why do her eyes look like she's possessed? They're like red and demonic. How creepy. And there's orbs flying around. Ooh, evil.
That I won't be going up.
Look at that. Orbs. Creepy.
To theater. Kind of dark, kind of spooky, kind of ancient.
Those look like jail cells, like that these keep people in. I don't know. That's what it looks like. Actually, I appreciate the soundtrack she chose for this. It actually fits very well with this, with the scenery, so good job on that, Chantal. Oh my goodness.
These are really high.
What is this? The stairs were making me crabby, LOL. You just don't like to be uncomfortable. You don't like to be not in control of a situation. That's what makes you crabby.
Yes, they are. Oh my gosh. There were no fat people in the old days because there's too many stairs.
There were fat people in the old days. They were all rich. They would hoard the food and the wine and all the things and give the scraps to the peasants. Come on. Here, get my picture. You know what that reminds me of? If you were a gamer or you play video games, there used to be a old video game on the PlayStation called Soul Reaver, and then there's a follow-up one, Legacy of Kain. If you know that game, mention it in the comments. That's what these columns remind me of, because there's one point in the game, I believe it's Soul Reaver, where you have to like jump on the columns. It looks exactly like that.
Ancient Roman columns. And by ancient, I mean this was built around 2 AD, year 2 AD. And it's really cool to see everything. All of that walking.
So 2nd century is what she's trying to say, I believe. I don't know.
And all of those stairs were so worth it when I finally entered the theater area. It was just so amazing. I was so taken aback at how impressive it was. It actually has a capacity to seat 17,000 people, which is why it is among the largest in Roman ancient history. That is so cool. The theater is made of a volcanic rock called basalt, and it has all these nice Roman columns. Can only just imagine how beautiful it was.
Actually, right there was probably statues on all of this right here. They were probably taken and sold on the black market. So some rich people probably have those statues in their house right now. Really sad. But that's probably that head that she had shown earlier in the video probably came from something like this, where there would be statues depicting probably, I'm guessing, Greek gods and things like that.
First constructed. Coming here has given me a new appreciation, not only for Syria, but just for ancient history in general. I found history so boring in high school. Maybe it was the teacher, maybe it was...
Imagine having to sit at the top of the stairs. I mean, there's... The LA Coliseum is kind of like that. It's steep as hell.
Just that time of my life. But now, it's impressive as heck. Anyway, we took our selfies and we were out of there. I
wish she would have shown a view from the seating towards the stage better so people could get a view of the stage, because the difference between this and a coliseum is a coliseum would be more octagonal shape, whereas this, like an amphitheater, is like a half a circle with the stage. So that's how you can tell the difference. Another fun fact, in this area, I believe that, you know, because they used to do like plays and things like that there, that when the Eastern Orthodox, Greek Catholic or whatever came into power in that area, or what religion was it? I can't even remember. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up facts, but that kind of ended because I guess they would see, you know, the portraying of gods and things like that in that type of setting as blasphemous and not part of their religion, I guess. So that ended for quite a period of time.
We had a time limit at the end of this video. Hi, horsey.
Oh my goodness.
Hello.
Oh, and another fun fact about that too is that oh my goodness, that particular amphitheater or whatever has been preserved by sand over time. So it's like one of the most intact of the Greek architectures in that area. The sand actually protected it. And I think it was buried for a period of time. Majority of that area, I believe, is buried still.
Hi. Hello. You're a nice horsey.
Poor horse.
Do you think I can touch it? Or will it kick?
Poor horse. And who knows how hot it is out there. Tied up so close to that pole without any food, without any water, with no salt lick, no nothing. So mean. Poor horsey. And on that hard cobblestone or brick or whatever that is. Mean. Poor horse.
Me.
Hi. Oh, nice horse. Yes, you are. Nice horse. Hello. Aww.
Why do you kiss animals? You don't know where this horse has been. You don't know if this horse is diseased, has parasites. You know nothing, Chantal. Why do you always kiss the animals? It's gross. Please stop.
So nice. Yes, you are.
Horse doesn't like her.
Beautiful horse, eh? You want a pet? And Salah wanted to try riding a horse.
Oh my God. Get the F out of here. You are too big for that horse. Glitter tits. Get off of that horse. What a moron.
He never has. So he gave this horse a short ride.
Do you know how cruel that is for the horse? Does it even have proper shoes on? Probably not. To be on that hard pavement like that, it's so bad for the horse. It's so mean.
We headed home for the day. It was a wonderful day. And I hope we can come back soon.
It looks like the bit's too tight probably. He keeps pulling the rein. Mean. Animal cruelty. You know what? I think she does this stuff on purpose. You know, I don't believe she is ignorant to the fact that, you know, stuff like this is abusive towards animals. She doesn't care. She does it on purpose. She's like purposely jabbing the viewers, if you know what I mean. Like knife cuts. She doesn't care.
Here I am again. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Just a quick story time about that, actually. We initially were not allowed in to the ruins, the Coliseum Theater, because there were events taking place they were setting up for. But they made an exception and they let us in. And we knew somebody who pulled some strings. used their wasta and let us in. We were only allowed in for a short period of time, and then they kind of booted us out. Literally, they told us we had to go because they were setting up. So I got a quick look around, took some pictures.
She's getting that jaundice around the corners of her mouth like Amberlyn Reed. The yellowing. Yuck.
Took some selfies. Wasn't super impressed and just in awe.
Did she just say she wasn't super impressed? I swear that's what she sounded like she said.
That I was in a place so ancient where so much history took place. And if you're probably thinking Coliseum, Roman theater, gladiators, bullfighting, whatever.
No.
Violence. Apparently,
bullfighting. It's the wrong country.
According to the research I've done, what mostly took place at this theater were performance arts. So, just so you know, all right?
Yes, you can tell by the construction of the type of theater, what type of theater it was. Because like I said, they're different shapes.
And yes, so I guess that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Again, we will make another visit to Busra and go into more depth in more of those ruins that you saw outside of the theater. And when the sun is not as hot, there's still times during the day where the sun is brutal, especially for me. I'm not used to that, and I get heat stroke very quickly. And
excuse me, ma'am. When have you had heat stroke? I don't remember you ever having heat stroke ever during this whole Middle Eastern adventure. Not only that, obviously you and Glitter Tit Salah didn't give a shit about it being hot out there when his fat ass got on the horse.
Oh, yada yada. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. Lots more to come from the Serious series. And let me know in the comments below if there's anything you would like to see. And if you have any questions, and I'll do my best to answer them.
Okay, that's the end of that. Yeah, go ahead and leave your comments if there's anything you'd like to see, and she will not show it to you. Another fun fact about the area that she was in, that was used during the Civil War by the other regime that was booted out, and they would basically, they use that location, I believe I read, to bomb the cities of people around, you know, out there in Syria. So yeah, that whole area is still a hot mess. I mean, it was a good video. She had a little bit of the stuff correct. So, you know, good job, Chantal. You actually did a little bit of research on that. I just wish you would go into a little bit more depth about certain aspects of the location. But other than that, I mean, it was a good job for her, considering, you know, the other posts that she makes. So she did some actual work with this. So congratulations, Chantal. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. I will see you when I see you. Bye.